private equity
And
slash venture
we are
capital
live,
industries
ladies
is
and
massive,
gentlemen.
right?
Welcome
It's
back.
hundreds of
Today
billions.
is May
So
22nd,
according to IMF, the industry body, the estimate is about
2025.
billions of dollars, so
Let's
to
get
speak.
right to
I think most
business.
of that carried
Open up
interest
your
in
Baja
management pieces
apps,
currently
please,
offshore. So there's a big
and
opportunity to
go
bring
to
money
news.
onshore.
Go
Now,
to tech
other big
news.
picture here is Hong Kong, we know, is trying to establish itself
Open up
as
your Google News,
across many fronts,
headlines,
right? How does
technology,
this affect that separate but related exercise?
Yeah, so Hong
Dominican
Kong, as you said, is
newspapers,
doing that, and it has
Listín
introduced tax
Diario.
concessions for private
Let's
equity
go
firms. However,
to
that
sports.
particular program or framework currently it's not really
Leave
attracted
that.
a lot of take-up from firms.
Okay.
So, and
Wikipedia.
the government's trying to improve
What
that.
vehicles
So at the moment,
are we going
it
to
hasn't
explore
really
today?
achieved what it
I'm going to
wants to do in
compare
terms of increasing
a
funds
McLaren
offshore,
GT in all
because it's somewhat
iterations.
burdensome framework. But at the same time, I think it also sends a bit of confusing message when the government is, or IRD is chasing
GT.
these funds quite aggressively for
And
carried interest.
I'm going to put
while
a
at the same
heads
time
up with
having,
eighth generation
increasing tax
Corvette.
breaks and so on.
Today's Thank You
McLaren
Today's
GT
Our
Grand Touring
finance reporter
Sports
joining us
Car.
with the
Okay,
latest on that
perfect.
story. And coming up next, our
Now,
exclusive conversation with JP
let's
Morgan's senior
open a new
China
tab.
country officer
We're
Rita
going to
Chan.
go
We'll discuss the bank's
Corvette,
overall business strategy and the impact of trade and tech tensions
8th gen,
with the U.S. This
right?
is Bloomberg.
We don't have to press wiki because we're already on the app. Redirected from Corvette, Corvette car. Okay, let me see. This is CA Corvette. Perfect. Now, we're also going to check the markets in real time, which I have the markets pulled up in real time. So let's start with a little bit of theory. Let me adjust everything here and make sure we have a nice sound. Okay. So, as you all know, I'm in the automotive business, right? These are some of my investments. This is part of my portfolio. So this is my day-to-day. So anytime I have the internet, my dealership is open. Now, when doing research on exotic vehicles, right, I kind of had a parameter. I said, all right, let me look at the entry-level prices and let me see what's available in the market. The vehicles that are available are older. They have higher miles. But remember, these are prototypes that you could buy in the United States. And, the interior is not what it's supposed to be. A lot of those cars were like in car shows. People sat in them, you know what I'm saying? From show to show to show, they were trailer queens, right? Now, they're available for sale. But there's a lot going on in the automotive world. With the new ZR1, 8th generation Corvette, you're putting companies like Lamborghini to shame with the Revuelto. There's companies that have cars already over 2,000 horsepower. Hennessy is doing it from the factory. Corvette just gave you 1,034 horsepower. Now, granted, the Tesla Model S is 1095. That's why it was so fast. This car is doing that without electrification. The Zora is going to have an additional 200 plus horsepower. That's like taking off 200 kilograms right there. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So let's look at the prices. Let's see what we find. What's the most affordable so that this head to head can make much better sense, right? You have a 2012 McLaren 12C. Okay, 109,996. Okay. Okay. This car has 8,473 miles. Let's look at the condition. It's a very simple build. Yellow brake calipers, like a Lopez Peña interior. That's it. V8 twin turbo, rear wheel drive, the real successor to the McLaren F1, but that has to be explained. So why don't we do a module on it? This is for all of my engineers. So what made this car so amazing, why Jay Leno had one on reserve, was because he was one of the first and last owners of the F1. They had not built another monocell or anything that can be able for them to scale and build on it as time progressed. This vehicle with a V8 twin turbo, you know, 700 horsepower, depending on whatever version you got of the vehicle, was doing 229 miles per hour from the factory. F1 was like 240 something. They gave you so much car and they proved that they could do it because look at Artura and the components are part of the Speedtail and are part of McLaren P1. Just like Ferrari with the 296, everything is the NSX. Who would have thought the NSX was going to win in the end? The 296 GTB and GTS is the real NSX. That's the real car. The FXX version is the Type R. And them shits is still not all-wheel drive. But wait for people to start modifying those cars. Imagine an NSX that could drive on all four wheels and it could turn on all four wheels. It has the aerodynamics, the build quality to compete. We're talking GT3 or better. This is a lot of car for the money. Can you compare it to the new Corvette? No, you cannot. This is carbon fiber. This is, space age material. But for the price, I can build you a very nice Corvette and save you some money. And that's the debate that we're having today. Looking in the market, this is the lowest price McLaren that I have available. 504, 202, 5915. It is black. Yellow brake calipers, baby. All right. I got a Speedtail for 1.9 million with 468 miles, but you see what I'm trying to say. The bargain value of the car is right now. When they start going back up in prices, then people complain. I was buying 512 TRs for $50,000. You know how much them cars are going for right now? 500,000 or better, in better condition, more money. Le Mans, forget about it. You got to go to Dubai to buy that car. Those are the people that had the money to buy it. I got an orange 14 McLaren P1. But you have to call for the miles. Let me see. And remember, we only negotiate through Manek. Crystal Delgado Law Group. Okay. So at the lowest end, I have about 110,000. Let's say 112 or 125,000, 26,000 with paperwork, insurance, and everything out the door. Right? You paid your taxes, gas guzzler tax, luxury tax, everything. You paid the commission fee for my company, right? Now, I only had 5 portfolios available. So I only looked at the first 3. The most expensive car that I have, what is it? A 2023 McLaren GT for 172, my price. So I'm gonna sell it for 2 or better, especially if I have to deliver it internationally. So now between let's say between 180, right, and 110, the difference is 70. So 35. So let me look for something under 155,000, 160, so I can get something nice. Let me spend a little bit more so I can get a nice one, and I can get a car with a good story that I can then sell to another one of my clients that's looking for an emotional connection to an automobile. These are collector cars. People are selling these like these are like printers for a computer or keyboards. No, these are automobiles. This is driving art right here. This is not for everybody. This is why this business is not for everybody. Because customer service is something you have to be born with. So, okay. So I think back and I say, okay, I don't have anything in my inventory, but I have a personal car that I can maybe, let go. I have a lot of miles on it. 2020 McLaren GT, 136,850, my price. I could probably sell that 180, 190, 20,105 miles. Now this one is the latest generation So this is the shape that the Corvette really copied. This is how important this car is. So I'm gonna let you guys just, for the connoisseurs of automotive history. Now, if I go on the rig and in the configurator, I can build you something more powerful, more prestigious with a full warranty, 0 miles. It's a no-brainer. It's hard for me to make the investment to pay this much for a car personally. I'll buy it for the portfolio. I'll let it sit until a collector comes and buys it. But then it takes away from the good feeling that I have of owning the car myself, that I'm basically educating my clients on owning themselves. You see, I already have all of my cars in different colors and different, collections and all over the world, right? So now I'm able to sell you something similar that if it's not in my inventory, it's in my collection. And if it's in my collection, it's a personal vehicle. I think it's a really good value because I learned a long time ago that there's something special about each one. Each one has like their own personality. Every one of these collector cars, they're like Pokemon. You know, this is also why I wanted to teach, my clients how to drive these cars so they can enjoy it. You don't have to abuse these cars. You don't have to drive fast. These cars are not about driving fast. This is not a movie. We're not kids. I'm 40 plus. If the speed limit is 85, I'm doing fucking 5 miles below. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to the music. I'm looking at all the pretty women. That's my focus. You know what I mean? All right. So now let's do a real life comparison. First, we're going to do a module where we're going to go into the full spectrum of what each vehicle is. I already gave you guys a free module for your finals by explaining to you that chassis itself, we're going to learn about it, but this is what sets the difference. So I'll let the historians, the older style historians, explain it to you, and then I'm going to give you guys some real world examples. So let's begin with the markets because we need to be sharp. Okay. So open up your Baja app. Let me close this. Okay. Open up your Baja app, and I'm gonna have surprise modules. 5 pages, 5 paragraphs each. 5 paragraphs each. 5 words each sentence minimum. 5 computer spacings. 5 versions. Every different format. You show the work, you get credit for it. It could go on your finals. It could help you for summer school. If you don't show the work, then you're not gonna even get a grade on it. I'm not even gonna give you a bad grade. It's just not even gonna count. Like you didn't turn nothing in. Okay, so let's refresh and let's go. Anthropic launches Claude 4 models with coding edge. AI company Anthropic released 2 new language models, Claude 4 Opus and Claude Sonnet 4, on Thursday, aimed at advancing high performance computing tasks. The Opus 4 model is being touted as the world's best coding model, achieving 72.7% on the SWE benchmark or SWE benchmark, which evaluates software engineering capabilities. Claude Sonnet 4 showed significant progress over its predecessor, Sonnet 3.7, by matching Opus 4 top-tier SWE bench score. The models are built for complex workflows and long-form reasoning and are now available via the Anthropic API, Amazon Bedrock, and Google Cloud's Vertex AI. Pricing remains unchanged from earlier versions. Opus 4 costs 15 to 75 per million input output tokens, and Sonnet costs 3 to 15 million. So computing power is taking up so much energy. It's amazing. Okay. Kraken confirms it will offer tokenized US listed stocks. Cryptocurrency exchange Kraken confirmed on Thursday in a blog post that it will soon be offering tokenized versions of popular United States listed stocks and exchange traded funds, ETFs, to its clients in specific jurisdictions worldwide. These X stocks assets can be traded both on our platform as well as on chain through compatible wallet providers, allowing users to leverage their X stocks as collateral in ways that simply is not possible through TradeFi, Kraken detailed. Kraken Global head of consumer Mark Greenberg explained that while the traditional United States equities are slow, costly, and restricted, X stocks will allow for an instant and borderless exposure to some of America's most iconic companies. Kraken is aiming to expand these offerings to its customers in the United Kingdom, Europe, and Australia soon. OpenAI launches Stargate UAE in global AI push. OpenAI announced Thursday the launch of Stargate UAE, its first global deployment of the AI infrastructure platform Stargate. The move is coming in partnerships with G42, Oracle, Nvidia, Cisco, and SoftBank. According to the company's announcement, this is also the first deal under OpenAI for countries, a new global initiative to aid governments in developing sovereign AI capabilities. In cooperation with the United States, rooted in democratic values, open markets, and trusted partnerships. The investment consists of a 1 gigawatt Stargate cluster in Abu Dhabi with 200 megawatts expected to be operational by 2026. Additionally, it includes UAE investments in the United States Stargate infrastructure, enhancing the acceleration partnership program between both countries. This deal has the potential to provide the Emirates with computing capacity that can reach up to half of the world's population within a 2,000-mile radius. Xiaomi reveals 15S Pro, Pad 7 Ultra. Xiaomi Corporation unveiled its new Xiaomi 15S Pro smartphone and the Pad 7 Ultra tablet on Thursday during its A New Beginning event. Both devices are powered by Xiaomi's newly developed X-Ring 01 chip, a 3 nanometer processor designed in-house to boost performance and efficiency across mobile and tablet platforms. The S15 Pro introduces premium materials like aramid fiber and matte fiberglass in two finishes. It boasts a 6.73-inch 2K LTPO OLED display and Leica engineered triple camera and a 6100 milliamp battery with fast charging. The Pad 7 Ultra, Xiaomi's first Ultra tablet, features a 14-inch 3.2K OLED display, 12,000 milliamp battery, and up to 18.95 hours of video playback. That's amazing. Both products integrate Xiaomi's AI features via a 6-core NPU with full specs. The 15S Pro starts at 5,499 yuan or $764, and the Pad 7 Ultra starts at 5,699 yuan, which is $793. That's amazing. So you add shipping, handling, inflation, tariffs, $1,000. That's a nice computer. Xiaomi unveils chip that aims to rival Apple's A18. Xiaomi Corporation announced on Thursday its new flagship processor, the X-Ring 01, which it says outperforms Apple's A18 Pro chip in key areas such as thermal efficiency during gaming. Apple remains the leader in the market. Xiaomi CEO Lei Jun stated. He added that the X-Ring 01's performance should not be interpreted as an attempt to compete with Apple, but rather as a testament to Xiaomi's significant efforts to create a comparable processor. Built on a 3 nanometer process, the X-Ring 01 features a 10-core CPU and 16-core GPU, and a neural processing unit with 44 TOPS. Lei also revealed Xiaomi plans to invest 50 billion yuan, 6.9 billion, over the next decade in chip research and development. I think we may have done this yesterday. This might be a news update. Hold up. Lenovo's Q4 revenue surges 23% to 16.9 billion. Amazing. They're making 17 billion a quarter. That's what? 30, 34. Yeah, that's crazy. That's one company. Lenovo Group Limited announced on Thursday that its fourth quarter revenue jumped 23% to 16.98 billion on a yearly basis, beating expectations, while net profit attributable to shareholders slid 64% to 90 billion, primarily due to non-cash fair value loss on warrants. For the full year, revenue rose 21% to 70.8 billion, marking the company's second highest annual sales, while profit attributable to equity holders rose 37% to 1.38 billion. Lenovo announced a final dividend of HK 30.5 cents per share. The company's infrastructure solutions group, ISG, achieved a 63% revenue growth year on year during the fiscal year, fueled by a more diversified customer portfolio. You see, we're talking investment terms, portfolios, portfolios, portfolios. This is the language of the wealthy. Revitalized enterprise businesses, expanded non-accelerated server sales, and strong adoption for AI optimizing infrastructure, products including advanced liquid cooling technology. Amazing. Nike to return to Amazon direct sales after 6-year break. Okay. So now let's move on to. Oh no, wait a minute. We're going to do it by segments. Let's go sports, Dominican Republic newspapers, Deportes, Listín Diario. Economía con Hacienda. Okay. Las mayores. Okay. Béisbol. Kyle Tucker da jonrón por segundo partido seguido y los Cachorros derrotan 2-1 a los Marlins. Ok. Kyle Tucker de los Cachorros batea un sencillo remolcador ante los Marlins el miércoles 21 de mayo del 2025 en Miami. Agencia Associated Press, Ciudad Miami, Estado de Florida, Estados Unidos. Kyle Tucker sacudió un home run entre sus 3 hits y remolcó la carrera del desempate con un sencillo y un error de fildeo de Miami en la octava entrada, con los que los Cachorros de Chicago vencieron el miércoles 2-1 a los Marlins. Los Cachorros, líderes de la división central de la Liga Nacional, ganaron 2 de los 3 juegos de la serie contra Miami después de una derrota en el último acto el lunes. Han ganado 7 de sus últimos 9 juegos. El novato de Chicago, Matt Shaw, recibió una base por bolas al inicio de la octava entrada contra el relevista de los Marlins, Anthony Bender, 1-3, y robó la segunda base. El segundo sencillo de Tucker remolcó a Shaw con la carrera del triunfo, luego que el jardinero izquierdo de los Marlins, Kyle Stowers, fildeó mal. Brad Keller, 1-0, lanzó un inning y un tercio de relevo y obtuvo su primera victoria desde el 2023. El venezolano Daniel Palencia trabajó una novena entrada perfecta para su primer salvamento por segundo día consecutivo. Tucker dio a los Cachorros una ventaja en la primera entrada con un home run solitario. Tucker desapareció un slider del abridor Max Meyer a 385 pies de distancia sobre la pared en el jardín derecho. Fue su 12º home run del año, o sea, número 12. Tengo que buscar las palabras. Ok. Los Marlins empataron en la mitad inferior con un sencillo dentro del cuadro de Connor Norby. Por los Cachorros, el panameño Miguel Amaya de 4-2, no, 4-1 por los Marlins. Los dominicanos Jesús Sánchez de 3-1 y Agustín Ramírez de 4-1, una anotada. Ya tú sabes de quién es familia. Ese tigre es lo más duro que hay. Ok. Continuamos. Google Technology, Google News. Vamos a darle a cosa. Ok. That one we're not going to do. No. No. All right, this one, I hope you guys like it. Please log on to www.pushsquare.com and thank you for sponsoring today's episode. Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun 2 brings the boomer shooter back for another crusade on PlayStation 5, a bolt from the Ultramarine by Mr. Robert Ramsey. About Mr. Robert Ramsey. Robert, or Rob if you're lazy, is an assistant editor of Push Square and has been a fan of PlayStation since the 1990s, when Tekken 2 introduced him to the incredible world of video games. He still takes his fighting games seriously, but RPGs are his true passion. The Witcher, Persona, Dragon Quest, Mass Effect, Final Fantasy, Tales, he's played them all. A little too much, some might say. Thank you, Mr. Robert Ramsey. And now let's go for my adrenaline design engineer students, people that are working on content creation. Give me 1 second. Video game design, people that are working on movies. You know, they always put me in the movies and then they leave me as a fucking driver and they always erase my character. Okay. Let's go. A full sequel to retro-style shooter Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun has been announced and is stomping onto PlayStation 5 in 2026. Look how far along their marketing technology. They want you to be ready. Simply titled Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun 2, this follow-up is promising more of the same, but hopefully even better. Dominate the battlefield with an arsenal of formidable weapons and even deadlier abilities, reads the press release. Battle fan favorite foes like the sassy Nurglings and Chaos Cultists, as well as all new enemies. We like the first bolt gun and its clear passion for all things Warhammer 40K, but we did think it was held back by some odd difficulty spikes and uneven level design. Still, it could act as a solid foundation for the sequel. Okay, not too bad. Now, let us go into engineering mode. Let me adjust these volumes, leave you guys with the markets real quick, and we're on perfect time. We'll be right back.
Yeah, I think it's actually, as you're saying there, investors are no longer willing to give governments and even central banks the benefit of the doubt. What they're hearing from them doesn't add up to people that are doing in the best interests of fixed income investors. They're doing what is practical for them in the short term, either to push through their spending bills or to placate investors in the equity market. That doesn't necessarily work if you're a bond investor. So as a bond investor, you really have to look at long-term mathematics. You have to look at long-term returns over inflation. Under calm conditions, when global inflation was low, when people were doing a nice 60-40 portfolio spread between bonds and equities, they were a bit more relaxed about it. You could probably get away with a smaller premium. Right now, fixed income investors are stepping back and saying, hey, there's this continuous deluge of bonds coming my way. I don't know when inflation is going to stabilize, let alone turn down. I want to have more of a premium for holding these things.
Turn down for what? You guys miss me? Official test time, 2 minutes. You guys have 1 minute, 1 second. Actually, no, less. 55 seconds. All right. Here we go.
That was horrendous. This is a sign of what's coming. And Japan's going to do a 40-year auction next week.
You guys have the best teacher in the whole wide world.
Yeah, I mean, the US 20
Okay.
that was a yield award of 5%. And still.
Let's go on full engineering. For your other terminals, you could put them on closed caption, okay? Be allowed for the test. I'm going to always change the format of the test so I know nobody's cheating. Rule number 1, we only use everything that God has given us, right? So here we go. We'll start. We already gave you guys the market explanation, right? So now we're going to go where we need to be, okay? All right. We'll start first with the McLaren GT, okay? We could put it on the rig. We'll put it on the simulator. Everything. We'll go over everything, including some changes. Not all of them. This module is not that big. Okay, but I still need to hydrate before we begin. Okay. McLaren GT, McLaren Touring sports car. Not to be confused with McLaren Automotive SS McLaren GT. The McLaren GT is a 2-seat Grand Tourer designed and manufactured by the British automobile manufacturer McLaren Automotive. It is the company's first dedicated Grand Tourer and is based on the same platform underpinnings, the 720S. So this is already telling you everything that we kind of discussed as far as the frame. 720S is the improved F1 frame, so you know you could build anything with this frame. Or you got to build a better frame. With the addition of a carbon fiber rear deck topped by a glazed tailgate, creating significantly greater storage capacity. So they increased the trunk space. But this is my only gripe. My old 570 GT, the glass opens sideways. It's like sideways, right? So it gives it a unique look, especially when you have the matching luggage. You go to the airport, you're going in your private jet. It just looks nice. It looks like they took the time, right? Like they really cared about what they were building. This one, the hatch opens up. So you have like the built-in kind of duckbill spoiler, and you could put wings on it, but it's just like something so simple. They just had to keep it original. But it is a nice feature, which, you know, the older one looks more like a P1 because that's what it is. The P1 is that car with a body kit and electrification. But again, now you see the technology down into the Artura and other models as well. Production, McLaren Automotive, 2019 to 2024 GT, 2024 to present GTS. GTS is the new one. Assembly, United Kingdom, Woking, Surrey, England. Designer, Rob Melville. Class, Grand Tourer Super Sport. Layout, rear mid-engine rear-wheel drive. Platform, monocell 2T carbon fiber monocoque. This is the cell we're talking about. Doors, butterfly style. Related, McLaren 720S and 570S. So they skipped the GT. We'll find out more about it. See if it's the same frame for my engineering students. Engine 4.0 liter MA40TE twin turbocharged V8. Power output 620, brake horsepower 456 kilowatts, 612 horsepower. Now remember, this is after the new rating, so you know it's more than that. For the people that tune cars, again, my engineering students, this is how we learn. Transmission, 7-speed dual clutch, so very advanced transmission. Wheelbase, length, width, height, curb weight. Successor, McLaren GTS. Predecessor, McLaren 570 GT. So let's go into that frame. Okay, let's go read article. The McLaren 570S is a sports car designed and manufactured by the British car manufacturer McLaren Automotive, produced from 2015 until 2021. It was unveiled at the 2015 New York International Auto Show. The car is powered by a new iteration of the 3.8-liter twin turbocharged V8 engine already used in the 650S and P1, designated M838TE, with 30% of the parts designed. It delivers 562 brake horsepower, 570 PS, 419 kilowatts, and 443 pound-feet of torque, or 601 newton meters of torque through a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission developed by Graziano Trasmissioni. So it's an Italian transmission. You know this is going to be fucking fast. As it is arranged in the car as a rear mid-engine configuration, the car can accelerate from 0 to 62 miles per hour, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.2 seconds, and can achieve a top speed of 204 miles per hour. Let's go back to we need to go back to the 12C, MPC 12C, McLaren. Okay, right here. Remember that we're going back in generations. We're going all the way back to F1. McLaren 12C, British sports car designed and manufactured by McLaren Automotive. The McLaren MP4 12C, later rebranded as the McLaren 12C, is a sports car produced by the British car maker McLaren Automotive, manufactured between, hold on, let me take this off. Okay, I got the configurator up. Okay. So the simulator is on. The McLaren MP4 12C, later rebranded as the McLaren 12C, is a sports car produced by the British car maker McLaren Automotive, manufactured between 2011 and 2014, and designed by Frank Stevenson. The MP4 12C was available as both a coupe and a retractable hardtop convertible, the latter known as the Spider. McLaren started developing the 12C in 2005. So it took them about 6 years. You see what I'm saying? As far as investments, people are looking at the short term. Look how they had to build just the prototypes. It took them 6 years. And people think it's easy. The McLaren MP4 12C, later rebranded as the McLaren 12C, is a sports car produced by British car maker McLaren Automotive. Okay. Let's go back down. Mm, Debut July 2012. Twin turbocharged V8. Name. Development. Okay, development. McLaren used two Ferrari 360s as test mules to develop the MP412C. So it's really a 360 clone, which you know what that does right there? That just raises the value of the 360 right there because that's a very special place in automotive history. 360 is a copy of the McLaren F1. Just like this one is a copy of this one, look at the silhouette of the 360. Look at the Toyota Celica as well. It was the real poor man's version of it. And Lamborghini winded up using that silhouette for Gallardo. But we'll get into that in advanced engineering. Okay. Do not disturb us on. Okay, perfect. McLaren began developing the 12C in 2005. Again, this is the prototype lineage, right? In June 2007, the magazine Autocar reported that the McLaren's upcoming sports car would be independently built by the company, stating that this would give the company a chance to re-establish its credentials at the top end of the market. The upcoming sports car would mark McLaren's return to producing a production car since the F1, which ceased production in 1998. Oh, okay. So there now it's telling you about the firmware. Okay. The upcoming sports car would mark McLaren's return to producing a production car since the F1, which ceased production in 1998. To develop the upcoming sports car, McLaren used modified versions of existing vehicles from other manufacturers as test mules. Okay, so they bought the Ferrari, took it apart, and then reverse engineered it. Okay, which ceased production in 1998. To develop the upcoming sports car, McLaren used modified versions of existing vehicles from other manufacturers as test mules. The first prototype, called the MV1, was a Ferrari 360 that featured a 3.8 liter twin turbocharged V8 engine and side vents for additional cooling, which were incorporated into the production model. A second prototype, the MV2, was a modified Ultima GTR. Wow, I remember those cars. I have a few friends that had them. John Cena had one too. I think I had a yellow one. Did I sell the yellow? No, I still got the yellow one. Ultima GTR used used to test the braking system and suspension components. A third prototype, the MV3, was another modified 360 used to test the exhaust system. They were trying to decide front or mid-engine, but mid-engine won. Or what they're calling now mid-rear engine, which is it just complicates things. A third prototype, the MV3, was another modified 360 Ferrari used to test the exhaust system. McLaren subsequently developed two in-house prototypes. Duh, we figured that out. The CP1 and CP2, which featured a monocell monocoque. This is the fucking frame. This is the F1 frame. Monocoque, and were used to test heat management and performance. They made such a good frame that they had to make sure that it could handle the power without something going improper. And again, me owning my own company and building my own prototypes is extremely expensive. McLaren produced over 50 experimental prototypes and tested in various regions to evaluate their performance in different environments. The testing locations included hot weather conditions in Bahrain, Arizona, and Nevada. Cold weather conditions in Arctic and Sweden, high altitude conditions in South Africa. So, Spain, Prototipo facility, Nardo, Italy. I'm the person that calibrates these machines at their top of the line performance. You know what I mean? So my brain is basically inside of all of these cars. In 2008, Frank Stevenson was appointed as the lead design director of McLaren. Now again, let me see. We have a spider here. We have a few different versions. Let's open up the simulator. Let's put it on the configurator. Let's put it on the rig. Wheelbase 2,670 millimeters, 105.1 inches. Length 4,509 millimeters, 177.5 inches. Width 1,908 millimeters, 75.1 inches. Height 1,204 millimeters, 47.4 inches. Curb weight 1,434 kilograms, 3,161 pounds. This is art. Okay, let's go with the engine. The McLaren M838 Turbo is a 3.8 liter, 3,798.6 cubic centimeter, 90-degree, twin turbocharged, flat plane V8. What do you have in the ZR1? This car. Designed and developed in collaboration with Ricardo. So they actually, I see the leap. I see how they did it. Okay. So now let's move on to our competitor. So for my Street Fighter fans, here comes a new challenger. Chevrolet Corvette, 8th generation C8. This is a Stingray. I always have to say I don't like the fact that they're different vehicles, but gotta grow up, gotta move on, right? Okay. Overview. The Corvette C8 is General Motors' first rear mid-engine sports car since the Pontiac Fiero. It features a vastly different design from previous Corvettes, with an all-new aluminum architecture and coilover springs in place of leaf springs used on prior models. So this is like the last generation Mustang. When they finally gave it a decent suspension, shit is crazy. Car's been out since 2020. Okay. Power output 490 to 495 horsepower. I got a bonus for you guys. This is for my engineering students. Let's go Lamborghini. Lamborghini Diablo. Engine, Lamborghini V12. Read article. First generation, second generation, third generation, Formula One. 1989. Hold on. Third generation doesn't tell me the year. Revuelto. Oh, okay. So Revuelto is the newest version. Okay, no, we're going, I think, what, first gen? Because second gen was, Espada, Murciélago, Diablo. Okay. All right. From 478 to 595 brake horsepower. That's it. From a 5.7 liter. I think mine's have 497 at the wheels. So that means there was another version that was 98 or 97 horsepower faster than my shit. Even though eventually I got those models too, but at the time I only had the regular joints. So the VT, the SV, the GT I got later, GTR can't drive on the streets, and whatever new ones. Okay. So if I go 497, the Corvette is 495, it's 2 less horsepower. But mind you, this is a car that's not $250,000, 300,000, 500 grand. You know what I mean? Okay. So that was just to kind of put it in context as far as power. Now, let us continue. So on the rig here, remember, I have my vehicle, right? 2020 McLaren GT, 136,850. My price, 20,000 miles. So I'm here to save you some money. I'm here to be a smart investor and teach you how to build wealth in real life. No gimmicks, no this, no that. This car is orange, black top, black wheels. Interior is all black, orange seat belts, and that's it. The the piping to match the seats. There's no other options in this car. Brake calipers are orange. In the Corvette, I cannot build one with orange brake calipers unless it's either E-Ray, a Z06, or ZR1. So for the base model yesterday, first I may have built a ZR1 and I did the comparison, but I think I checked E-Ray and I did check Z06. So let's go back to the configurator and let's build us a Corvette. I'm going to build one every day, right? And we're going to study the markets. So we go to official. Please log on to www.chevrolet.com, go to performance, and here is going to give you all of your choices. Since this is engineering, I need you to use your imagination. Okay? Vehicle details. View inventory. Okay. So 130 something puts us in the 150, one something range. Ooh, look at this orange one. It is bananas. That's the color. Oh my goodness, that's a beautiful color, yo. I think I'm gonna build you guys one like that. That's what we're gonna do. Okay. Let's go to build and buy. Oh no, but wait a minute. We can't even do that. I forgot. No, it has to be same specs. So we can do Z06 for today because we have been building quite a few of the E-rays. So let's go to Z06. It starts at 112,100. So pull out your hyper scientific calculator and let's go and let's crunch the numbers. Let's look at things for how they are, not how we want to see them. Because at the end of the day, we're here to do business, right? Okay. All I want to do is earn the opportunity to earn your business. That's it. All right. So let's go 146,000. My commission included. Now, let me see. You have to pay taxes. So let's put taxes. You need insurance. That's going to be right. Then I need to ship it door to door. So that's going to be okay. So I'm looking at an out the door price of 226, right? Now subtract the original. even that is saving. Let me see. So let's go. Okay. Um. mm, that's still saving money there because if I add this to my final, then I'll get. So let's go. Oh no! Wait a minute. Okay. Now. Okay. Still a good price. It's a good deal. Any way you slice it, it's still a good investment. All right. Let's go to build one. And remember, all my clients don't have to have international shipping. You know what I'm saying? But the prices have gone up somewhat. Convertible is 120. I'm still 100,000 below, give and take. For extra credit, you guys could do the math and you could put that for your extra module. Let's start with a coupe because we are comparing coupes to coupes. And all I wanted to do was give my client the orange brake calipers, which is what I have on my own personal car. And it's unfair. Like, why would I, sell your orange car with yellow brake calipers and I could just pay a little bit more and get you the one that you want? Now, real market value changes everything, but this is to be able to teach you guys real business in real life. Like all these people that you see on TV, I swear to God, I run circles around them. All right. So let's go 1LZ and we are pretty much done. We're going 1LZ. It says 116, but we'll see as we move some of the equipment around. First choice of today's client, Sebring Orange Tint Coat. So this paint is, of a higher caliber. We're going to start right. This is a coupe, but we're going to throw the carbon fiber top on it. We're going to do red lines. Nah, we don't have enough for that. But that's not a bad choice. How much are they? I could get 2 sets of rims or that one. These are new. All right, let's try these. And remember, I have to think about my client, right? I have to make sure this is a car that's going to be a special thing. All right, they look clean. That looks good. We'll see if we could keep the two-tone, but got the orange brake calipers. Those are 10,000 each. All right, let's go. Are we gonna do yellow? Oh, this is why they did that. Okay. Let's just look at it to see what it has. Oh, no. I got to change the paint job. No, can't do it in that color. Can't do that. We'll try the silver first. Then we'll decide if the red is the good fit. Because if that's the case, then I could change the color and build another one. Uh-oh. This is no good. This is hilarious. What the heezy? What the heck is this? All right. Let me do it in this one. Oh, man. All right, let's go configuration. Nope, we got to do it all over again. Damn. Okay, we lost that. That's no good. That was horrible. What the heck was that? Okay. All right, so go Z06, go to build and buy. I guess I had to refresh my thing. It's not working. Continue modifying. No, start a new build. Continue as guest. Okay, so we've already decided. Let's go coupe 1LZ. What the heck? Okay. And we have to think about the client. Sebring Orange 10 coat. So I'll pay extra for that. We put the carbon fiber top on it. We selected the new star design. But see, this is what makes it crazy because the silver one looks better. Now the question is, will my client really like that? This one looks like the Ferrari joint from the F80. Oh my goodness, again. All right, let's take it off. See if that does the thing. Oh, that's what it is. It's unavailable. Oh man, okay. All right, fine. So let's go with these because we can't get the other ones. Now, to be fair, I'm just gonna look because the other car has similar wheels. Nah, I'm gonna pay more. I'd rather pay more and have my client happy. You know what I mean? All right. So let's go orange brake calipers. 10,000 because I got the Brembo brakes. I'm gonna need them. Let's see if it'll let me do this. Oh no, not these. Okay, so not that color. Okay, this will give me an idea. This one might be a nice upgrade because in the light it's gonna hit a little bit different. Well, we can always try. Let me see, does it have another option? Nope. Those are the only 4 options right there. All right, you win some, you know, just have to explain it to the client, you know, when somebody's looking for a specific car like this, you know. Nope. Same thing. It's not available, man. It's not available. You know what? Let's build an E-ray then. Because if this is not going to allow us to do it, then it's not even worth it. The E-ray is my favorite anyway, but I like the fact that it's 4-wheel drive. Then the ZR1, we still have to see how much it's going to cost in the market. All right, let's go E-ray coupe, 108,795. If it crashes one more time in this terminal, I'm going to put it in the other one. Hold up. All right, we're going to go 1LZ, keep it affordable. Let's go Sebring Orange Tint Coat. Let's go carbon fiber roof. Let's get the see-through. Oh no, but it's only giving me one. Okay, fine. I'll take off the carbon fiber and I'll put that one. And then for the wheels, this is the closest thing I could get to what my client wants right here. Come on, man. Now the rims, I made them black, but they're gloss black. There we go. Okay. Now it's getting a little bit better. Okay. Let's try these first. Yes. Nope. It don't show them. Nope, you can't see them. Nope. Not available. Got you. Okay, I see. All right. You know what? For the cars that I can't put that package on it, I'm gonna put this package on them because I saw this. Yeah, why not make it fun, man? You know what I mean? That's gonna look nice. My customers, my clients gonna like that. See what I'm saying? Something simple, you know, I go all out for my clients, man. And that way I could give them more choices. Now I have this one, which is on the ZR1. You know, when I build a car for my clients, I really put a lot of thought and meaning to it. I'm gonna be building one every single day and sharing it on my social media so you guys can see like what the potentials are. You know what I mean? What you can do if you get really creative. All right, so let's remove this and let's not available. Okay. Nope. That one is really stood the test of time. It really looks nice. Yeah, you know what? Make it fun, man. Make it fun. Make it where you just got to take care of it. You know what I mean? Very nice. All right. So let us continue. Let's move on to the interior. I tried to go for the performance textile. You got to get the competition seats, but that's okay. That's not a problem. Oh, not available. Take it off. Never mind. Not available. So it's giving me standard seats, orange seat belts. Change it for the black ones. GT1 seats. Yeah, we could save 1,000 on the seats. You know what I mean? If my client wants to get them, he could order them afterwards. You know what I mean? Exactly. Oh, you see, I can't get the steering wheel micro suede. You know what? Don't worry about it. Leave it in leather. That's fine. But the Jakes. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm not building it like that. Nope. Let's go ZER performance package. Change my tires. Engine appearance. We don't need none of that nonsense. Carbon flash exterior parts. Nope. Painted outside mirrors. The body kit. Yeah, put the body kit on it. With the Jake graphics in the back. Bronze. No, not bronze. Get the personalized plaque. I think that one is okay. Museum delivery. That's fine. And that's it. We don't need nothing else. Engine lighting. None of that. We don't need none of that stuff. Included in package. Okay, I'll start. So this is the model. This is the build. 123,995 my price, of course, and door to door, still for a very good price. I mean, it's definitely not the McLaren, but it is brand new. It has a full warranty. You know, nobody's messed with the car. You know the history of the car. Parts are available everywhere. It's not gonna break down. Um, 20,000 miles on the McLaren. If something breaks, you know, you have to have 40, $50,000 to be able to fix it. Even if you only spend 30,000, 20,000 fixing it, you're basically putting yourself in a situation where you're going to have a headache down the road. You know what I mean? There's one more thing I do want to add. I'm going to add that lip to the wing, that gurney flap. I think it really needs it. Not the tow hook. Yeah, I apologize. I forgot that. So I'll give you guys. Oh, it's not available. Forget about it. Not available. All right, let's put the vents in. Let's take this off. Let me see what the body kit actually gave me with the car. Nope. Something's not available. Take this off. Take off the body kit. See if that does it. I'd rather get a base model. Look at this. Come on, man. Never mind. We'll go to real market value. See what we can find here. Now I have my parameters to look for the perfect one. So let's go see what the market has. I have my price already. I know what I'm looking for. Wow, they've gone up. They have gone up. Okay. Now the most important thing. When you collect vehicles, you have to collect cars with good stories. You know, you have to collect cars that come from, you know, a family that really took care of it. You know what I mean? Really appreciated it. And let's see what we find. Oh, okay. Hold up. I was missing one parameter. My mistake. Now, no wonder. I'm like, yo, okay, perfect. Oh my goodness. It's amazing, yo. All right, let me see. Do I have something comparable? Actually, for almost half price. Let me see what I got. I got a perfect one right here. Look, this is my entry level car. Come on, you guys can't beat this. Mauston, Wisconsin. Okay. This is today's deal of the day. Please log online and look for Cudwick Chevrolet. Open right now. We close at 5:30. 608-979-7381. 802 North Union Street, Mauston, Wisconsin, 53948. You can view the inventory or the dealer website. And let's see the full description. Only 3 miles, Z51 Performance Package, Hypersonic Gray. Yo, this is going to be a hard one to beat. Let me describe it to you first, okay? Hypersonic gray, Type R package, body kit on the front. It has the front lip, Z51 package, so it has the wing, grown and sexy color. This is mature. I'm going to college. I'm focused. I'm not here to waste no time. No body colored intakes and vents. Engine is red. No appearance package. Nothing that you don't need. Factory joints, red calipers, black interior. This is grown right here. I'm mature, and there's not really much that we need to talk about, right? Okay. Paddle shifters, of course. The car is really nice. It's a coupe. You just have to take care of it. This beautiful machine can be yours for $78,988. And again, you can call us at 608-979-7381. Tell them I sent you. It's a 2LT hypersonic gray, has 55 miles. It is a 2024. I think that's a very hard deal to beat. You know, we can build some in the configurator. Sometimes we have to compromise, features, packages, colors, and things like that. But you still want to make a decision that is financially appropriate. And it would be unfair for me to explain this to any car collector. I have a client for the 570 and the 570 GT. I have a client for the new version of the 2020 GT, just like I have a client for the Corvette. But each client is different. You understand me? The Corvette is for somebody that is starting a collection and needs reliability, no headaches, grown and sexy. The McLaren is, I got mad cars, but I'm missing something and I need this in my collection. It's a different kind of situation. Now, just to be fair, let's say you want to go more modern than 12C, but you don't want to go as modern as the GT. We're still within budget. I have see, that's the thing, higher mileage. No, I don't even want to sell you that. 19, 20. Okay, you know what? It's 136,000. It's fair. It is fair game. If you want a Spider, I have a 2013 12C Spider. It's matte black, yellow brake calipers, black interior, 115,000 my price. And it's a convertible, but it's a 2013, 20,000 miles. Now, I have a 2016 570S, 127,995 my price, 22,758 miles, but it looks just like the P1. It's black, yellow brake calipers. It's nice. Has light tints, front lift with memory. That's something that you have to have, so you take care of the car. Doesn't lift that much, but it'll get you in your driveway. And it's black, 128,000. And I have a Corvette here for 78,000. Let's do the math for my students. Make sure you're in engineering mode. So let's just go price for price. That's a good deal, man. That's a very good deal right there. That's an excellent deal right there. I have a 2023 convertible, 70,000, 1,300 a month plus whatever your credit is. You know what I'm saying? My price out the door probably be like 2,000-3,000 easy. I have a 1LT red, silver racing stripe. I have a blue one, convertible, 23, 83,000 miles. All right, let's offer a convertible since we always doing hard tops, right? And let me go back to give you the last example with the actual McLarens because it depends at what stage in life you're in. If you're going to buy a McLaren like this to drive it retardedly, don't buy that McLaren. It's not that time and it's not that season in your life. You understand me? That's not a car you're going to bother the neighbors with. You feel me? That's a car you're going to go on a cruise with your significant other and have a nice dinner. You know what I mean? One second.